Hello everyone, it's Fred again from Notes of a Nomad, video number 222. I returned to Canada and back in Victoria after being away almost 6 months. And I have a long list of things to do. And one of the things that it's on my list that I have to do in the next few weeks and couple of months is get rid of some of the items because they don't all fit in my Toyota Corolla. And as I haven't got a permanent place, I have to move around. And getting and lugging all my stuff is a big challenge. And I had some boxes stored in a friend's garage and I've had to collect them. And now I have to go through them and get rid of a lot of that material because it doesn't fit in the Toyota Corolla. Now, I also saw a recent article where someone asked, why don't old people declutter their estate? Well, there's a lot of reasons why people keep things, myself included. There's an emotional attachment to a lot of this, brings back memories. Think about loved ones and some of the milestones in our lives. We keep these items. And also, it becomes a challenge for a lot of old people to move this and clean it out. That's a big job. So that's why they don't often declutter their estate. I have an advantage. I'm not saying it's the best reason, but I moved in the 1960s from Canada to South Africa, and I arrived with a backpack on my back. So I decluttered. I left a lot of stuff that I collected as a young person, left it behind. Then I moved back from South Africa after 22 years in the mid 1980s, and I had a few suitcases and I left a lot of stuff behind. And then after living for 23 years in Toronto, I moved to the West Coast with a small travel trailer and brought a few things, but I left a lot of stuff behind. And when I left the condo that I was living in about 8 years ago, I downsized because I became a nomad. I didn't have a permanent place. So I left a lot of stuff behind and gave it away. But I still have too much stuff. But the other thing about why I'm doing this as well is as I go through things, I want to tell you, I probably will have find things and I have stories to tell you in the next few weeks and the next few Notes of a Nomad videos. Oh, I have this story. And why would I tell you these stories? Well, I've always said there's a few reasons why I do these videos. The first one was, oh, I got often the question about, oh, you know, Fred, where are you? What's going on? I got tired of answering emails and I thought, well, I'll do a regular video so they know, oh, he's still alive anyway, and this is what he's doing. So at least that answers that question and solves that issue. Second thing is, most people know very little about their grandparents and their maybe great grandparents. I know hardly anything about them. And this way, if any of my future descendants are interested, they can look it up on YouTube because YouTube's likely going to be around for hundreds of years. And the third thing that I heard recently was an interview from a historian. And this historian said for him to find out what life was like for people in 100 years ago, few hundred years ago, or 1,000 years ago, it's very difficult because there's not a lot of information. It wasn't recorded, everything. Where today, with all the podcasts available and videos available, it's going to make the life of future historians much easier. So that's another reason why I will be doing this and saying, oh, I found this. Here's a story that what happened to me. And so you'll hear a few of those. So that's the reason why I'm sharing this item. Now, I'll just show you one example of what I found when I was looking in one of the boxes, and that was the collage that was behind me that was made by one of my daughters. So there's a lot of family memories and a lot of people, etc., and some milestones as well. I see there was even some rowing that I was doing. And then I found this photograph in a big card. The card is actually these young people. It's the very first session that I held for young people in Toastmasters. And the card is I was holding up. I have that card. It was a thank you card from them. And inside that card was this photograph. My daughter and her school friend were there. And they signed it and said, thank you for everything. And thank you. We learned a lot, etc. And my daughter even wrote, "Thanks, Dad," on there. So that is an example of what I found in one of the boxes. And there's a lot more. So you're likely going to hear some more stories from Notes of a Nomad. So I wish you, your family, and friends lots of love and laughter. And hopefully you have lots of memories and milestones and loved ones that you remember. And I wish you all the best. Until next time, bye for now from Notes of a Nomad.